everybody. 6 conference previews are complete in our quest to cover every league before opening tip. And conference number 7 is none other than the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. Easy for me to say. That's why I just call it the MAAC. Perennial power Iona has taken a backseat of late as fresh faces have punched their tickets in March. And the captain, Mike Holland, joins me right now to discuss everyone's chances to claim a shining moment of their own. Recording live from somewhere, this is One and Done.
Get out the insurance cards, get out the co-pays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
It's time once again for everybody to come aboard that One and Done train. Welcome to One and Done. Bienvenidos a todos a One and Done, your fast break of college basketball information, and we're powered by the galaxy's greatest website, and that would be drroto.com. I'm your sometimes humble host. My name is Jay Heinrich, and if you don't know, now you know. I'm the conductor of the aforementioned One and Done train at Dr. William Cannon on X. Follow the show at One and Done CBB on all the socials, but do yourself a favor and follow this man first at MC Holland 34 on X. Around these parts, he's known as El Capitan himself, the captain of the One and Done ship, the OG Money Mike, Mr. Mike Holland. Mike, what it do?
MAAC. We got to get our dictionary out for this league, man. I mean, we got not only do we have tough names like some of the wackiest pronunciations in the English language here, but we've also got some of the most eclectic mascots in this league. We're going to be talking about Griffins, Stags, Broncs, not Broncos, but Broncs. Yes, I know it comes from the term Rough Rider, but we got peacocks and just all kinds of stuff, man. So no, the MAAC has been a fun one. We're this is our 7th or 8th conference preview that we've done. So if you haven't checked out all the other ones we've done, we're starting in the mid-major ranks and just kind of working our way through, man, as we got 31 of these in total as everyone's getting their own show. So this one probably going to be a quicker one, but we're going to try to get you all the information possible to get you to what you need.
You said Rough Rider. It took everything out of me not to say stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. But good stuff there always. Mike, good to see you, and it's good to see everybody hanging out with us, especially our guy Cam. Never late is better. That is right. CT hugging, C thugging, our guy
Top
Cam
of the show.
In the live chat at the top of the show tonight. Always good to see one of the OGs in the live chats. One of our ride or die. Speaking of ride or die, from day one-ish. He's been around for such a long time. Cam, and you know who else has been around? Our guy Darren. Be fine. Thanks for asking. Oh,
got you right here, Darren. We got you right here tonight, dude.
There we go. He's got the Wakanda Forever shirt on. I'm not doing the Wakanda salute. I might do it by the end of the show. We're not going to lead off with it, though. Shout out to you, Darren, for always being in the live chat and for hanging out with us on the socials as well at One and Done CDB, like I said earlier. But, Mike, let's get into it. The MAAC overview. Last year, 25th out of 31 conferences in KenPom strength of conference. Quinnipiac would win the regular season crown by 1 game over MAAC. And then Mount St. Mary's, not Iona, Mount St. Mary's, again, finding a way to win that MAAC tournament, knocking off Marist, MAAC, and the aforementioned Iona to get the automatic bid as the 16 seed. And we can talk about this, whether or not it's a legitimate tournament win or not in the play-in game.
It's legit.
16 versus the 16. It goes down in history. I guess they won. They technically have an NCAA tournament win because they beat American in the 16. Can we, Nate pushing the buttons tonight. We're going to need to clip that one. They beat American in the 16 seed playing game in, of course, Dayton in the first 4, 83-72. And then Duke just mollywopped them by like 8,000 points. So all that stuff, easy for me to say. The tongue is tied, Mike. For me, I'm feeling like you're going to have an easier time talking about the Metro Atlantic here. What are your thoughts before we dive into our world famous tiers?
Yeah, so Iona's obviously done a great job, but when you look at it, like, there's a lot of tightly contested games in this conference, and not really just last year. Really, when you look back at historically, I mean, last year They were number one when you look at Ken Palm's close game percentage. So as far as league games, that's 4 points or less or decided by overtime. Every game basically came down to the final 4 to 5 minutes there, man. There's high parity in this league, low predictability. Very rarely does a number one seed win the auto bid. It's only happened twice since 2015. And what I like about this conference is the geography, man. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, you're just right here in like this 300-mile radius up in the Northeast, right? You got Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts now with a couple of additions they had last year. And it leads to a lot of like recruiting battles, especially up there in the Catholic schools and kind of in that Northeast part in New York and New Jersey, man. So with Mary Mac and Sacred Heart joining the league, it's obviously expanded to 13 teams, and there's a lot of contrasting styles of play in the conference, which makes for what I kind of talked about off the top, the high parity and low predictability. So you just never know who's going to be punching that ticket to the NCAA tournament.
And we like it like that. I like it like that. It's when it's not so predictable every year. I sort of hinted at the fact that Iona, has made a mockery of it. And it was every year you knew who was coming out of this conference for 6 or 7 straight tournaments there. And then all of a sudden, 3 out of the last 4 years, somebody else finding a way to get it done. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to break it all down. And we're going to hop into the live chat one more time before we do that. Seeing Riley in there, MAAC time. That's right.
Yeah, Riley knows ball.
Riley knows ball. We have some of the most intelligent hoop heads in all the land that hang out in our live chat, which just happens to be the liveliest live chat in all of college hoops. So hit the subscribe button and hop in there with Darren and Riley and our guy Cam as well. Follow at The Real Napier, pushing the buttons tonight, the Hall of Famer CC Hustle. Nape doing a good job as always, and then our guy at Fantasy Nav in those Twitter streets as well, getting all those pretty graphics to you, getting the studio set up. Our guy Eric the Blue, the best fantasy follow this side of the Mississippi. Make sure you follow him at Fantasy Nav in those Twitter streets. All right, got it all out the way, and it's time to break it down in our tiers. Mike, push all those buttons if you haven't already, and let's get to it. Let's start with the low tier. We like to call it the foundation. Doesn't have to be low. We're not trying to hurt feelings here. Although some of these fans and some of the supporters of these teams, their feelings were hurt, especially Canisius. The Golden Griffins 3-17 last year. A tough first year for Coach Jim Christian, whose squad posted at least it wasn't last or next to last. I guess they could, hold their hat on that. The third worst defensive efficiency in the country. And now with nearly a full roster reset, it's hard to pinpoint how this team is going to do. I think expectations have to remain low. One player to keep an eye on is Jacksonville transfer Marcus Nyblack, who didn't play last season, if you remember, but flashed potential a couple of seasons ago, 10 points a game, 41% from beyond the arc. But feels like for the Golden Griffins, Mike, of Canisius, it's going to be a long year.
Yeah, it looks like a long year for them. And we got 5 teams down here, so I'll take a couple of them.
Cam saying the Golden Griffins don't have fans. They have students and alumni. That's very fair. Fair point.
We got the Niagara Purple Eagles. Purple Eagles. That's awesome. 6 wins last year, 6-14 in conference play. And this is Greg Paulus' team. And, man, I was like, man, Greg Paulus is going to be, one of those coaches that's going to climb the ladder pretty quickly. Posted 9+ conference wins in 4 of his first 5 seasons. But, 3 games back last year of that 9-win mark. Look, it was the worst offensive and defensive efficiency numbers under his leadership. So he's definitely looking to take a step forward. I'm just wondering how that's going to happen. Justin Page is probably going to be a big part of it. I mean, average 5 points per game, but he's a guy that they're probably going to look to and probably going to take on a much larger role. Unless some multiple, pieces break out for them, I just don't know that they're going to be able to escape this bottom tier. We got the old Fairfield Stags that won 8 games, and Coach Chris Casey's second season didn't really meet the expectations after he won 24 games in his debut. So he's got a really young group, limited senior leadership. He does have a nice guard here in Braden Sparks, who averaged 9.5 points per game. But in order for them to take a step forward, they're gonna need some pieces to come in here and really develop. So we'll see how that goes. But we're kind of projecting them to be down here in this foundation tier. The Ryder Bronx, 9 wins last season, and just an inconsistent year for them for Kevin Baggett. Just poor defense and it was the worst 3-point shooting percentage of his tenure there for Coach Baggett, and this was beginning in 2013. So definitely going to need to work on the old 3-ball there if they're going to improve. And they do have a nice player, senior guard Zion Cruz. So he's probably somebody that is going to need some help from some JUCO guys like Antoine Wilson, Caleb Smith. So yeah, Riley knows ball here. Zion Cruz right here, winning player of the year. Absolutely. He didn't have to win player of the year, and there's going to probably have to be a couple other guys that make all conference teams. I don't really see it here, Jay. Just tough to kind of picture that happening here. And they've got one more team down here, man, the old Peacocks.
Yeah, Darren saying not to sleep on St. Peter's, going 7-13 last year in the league. Coach Bashir Mason has built a gritty defensive identity, which is in any league that plays, right? If you're playing that gritty defensive brand of basketball on a night in and night out basis, you're going to be in a whole lot of games in college basketball. But the Peacocks have ranked in the bottom 20 nationally in 3-point shooting each of Coach Mason's first 3 years. That ain't too good. So unless returning guard Bryce Eaton continues to eat a little bit more, okay. All right. Anyways, 11 points for them last year. He's going to need to probably do a little bit better and get some help from his friends. So it does feel like, again, this is the high end of the low tier, could sneak into the low end of the mid tier sort of a team in St. Peter's. But Eaton's going to need some help with Coach Mason running the show. All right, good stuff, everybody. Way to hop in that live chat. It's always good to see everybody in there, keeping it lively, keeping it knowledgeable. We got the smartest hoop heads in all the land in the live chat. So join them after you hit that subscribe button. Join 1,554 of your closest friends, at least at the time of recording here on what is today? Sunday. It all runs together these days, but we're going to be here all summer long leading up to opening tip, and we're covering every single conference. So hit those buttons, notification bells, so you don't miss a minute of our college basketball coverage. Darren saying Coach Mason's team usually peak in his 4th season. Well, if that's true, Darren, this would be the year. All right. So we will find out for sure. All right.
All the way.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? Hey, I believe in those things. Every 4 years, something good's going to happen. All right. Why not? Let's pay a little bit of attention to St. Peter's. But it's time to move on to the old mid tier. And when I say mid, I love some alliteration here in the old mid tier because I'm going to go MAAC in the mid. Going to start with the MAAC Warriors here, 14-6 in the conference last year. What Coach Joe Gallo has done since MAAC entered Division I in 2020 has been nothing short of remarkable, Mike. And their transition from the NEC to the MAAC was seamless.
Yeah, so remember when MAAC was winning all those games but couldn't play in the NCAA tournament?
Dumbest rule in one of the dumbest rules in all of anything.
I just wanted to see if I could set you off mid-show here. But Coach Gallo's done an awesome job. They continue to hang their hat on tough, disciplined defense and elite ball security. So those two things play well, especially in mid-major college basketball, really in any level basketball. But this is one of those teams where you lost a star, man. Point guard Adam Clark is off to Seton Hall. So that's a major blow for them. So you're looking at someone like a Stonehill transfer, Todd Brogna. He averaged 12, 7, and shot 40% from 3. So he's going to add some size, some floor spacing for them. Is there a true go-to perimeter threat on this team? The ceiling feels a little bit capped. But typically a strong floor for this team, which is why we have them here in the mid. And then Mount St. Mary's, the old Mountaineers won 12 games last year. Donnie Lind definitely made a splash in year 1. He guided them to 23 wins, the most in their Division I history. And we just talked about it earlier, the NCAA tournament play-in victory over American. But with that type of success, usually you get some turnovers. So the roster was absolutely gutted this offseason. Leading scorers Dola Adebayo, Dallas Hobbs, Camelo Pacheco, all these guys were basically 9 points or better. They've all moved on, leaving obviously huge gaps for them to fill. So they do have a returning guard, Arlandis Keys. He averaged 7 points, shot 36% from 3. He showed flashes, obviously, in a supporting role, and he's going to ask to be able to take a big step forward. And can we doubt Coach Lind right now? Obviously, he just guided this team to their best season. So we know he can maximize his roster. It's just we're banking on that as a floor this year, man. Did he catch gold, or was it, can he put it together for a couple of seasons with a brand new roster? And then Sacred Heart, 10 wins, 10 losses last year. So definitely the definition of mid last year in this conference. But this is probably a team we've got slotted too low. You got Coach Anthony Latina. He's got a pretty experienced core. Makai Connor averaged 8 points, nearly 7 assists per game. And you have a stretch forward in Anquan Hill, 13 points, 6 boards, shot 45% from 3. We may be sleeping on these guys because they got a couple of transfers from FIU and ECU. You got Deshaun Gittins and Jan Farrell. So they have some upside. The depth is pretty young behind those guys, but I think this is one of the higher floor ceiling teams in the conference. So I do think they're going to reach this 9-10 win mark pretty easily. And they could be a team, Jay, that maybe, everything falls right for them, could jump up here, man. So look out for Sacred Heart here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say look out for Manhattan and the Jaspers here. We had someone ask earlier, I think it was Darren. Okay, so Johnny K, there's Johnny K saying Jasper should or could be even better. But we were asked earlier, what is a Jasper? Darren wants to know. I'm gonna tell you what a Jasper is. It comes from one of the college's most memorable figures, Brother Jasper of Mary. So okay, he founded the school's first band, orchestra, glee club, various literary clubs, and was also the school's first athletic director. Brought the little known sport of baseball to Manhattan College and was their first coach. So there you go. That's a Jasper, Darren. There we go, right there. And all the way from Jasper to Coach John Gallagher here, and mad props to him, by the way, who was thrust into a difficult situation just before the start of the 2023-2024 season, and still managed last year to lead Manhattan to its most conference wins since 2015 when they went 12-8. He brought stability and energy to a program in flux. And now returning key contributors in guards Jaden Winston, Devin Dinkins, and big man Will Sidnor as well. Defensive efficiency was a major issue, as it seems to be for some of these mid-major teams that do some stuff really well and don't do other things really well. And that Manhattan falls into that category, as they were 327th nationally in defensive efficiency. Also, lack of size, only a few players over 6'7". That could limit their ceiling literally because they're short. But offensively, they're going to be dangerous, Mike, for sure. There we go.
I like your ceiling reference there. That was,
thank you.
Man, you're mid-season form right now, man. That's
hey, we're feeling, except for the beginning when I had to stumble through a couple of things, and we still ran.
And your inappropriate comments mid-show.
Oh, well, those things happen from time to time, but we work through them, and then we just go to the live chat, and that's we can just lean on them, and it's a fantastic live chat as always. Good to see Johnny K join the whole crew. I'm not going to fall for that rage bait comment in the live chat about Rodney Terry, Darren, because I am so focused on the high tier of the MAAC. The ceiling is the roof. Yes, thank you very much, Cam. Hit the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already on this fine college basketball program. And let's get to this high tier before it all falls off the rails, Mike. Let's start with Quinnipiac. The Bobcats went 15-5 last season, the outright regular season champions, as a matter of fact, in Coach Tom Pecora's first 2 years on campus. It's a pretty great start, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, really all he has left to do is win the conference tournament, man. And he's going to return a couple of core pieces. You have a star forward, Amari Monroe, averaged 18 points, 9 boards, 2.3 steals per game. You got a guard, Jaden Zimmerman, averaged 11, shot 35% from 3. Portal addition, Asim Jones comes in from FIU, shot 35% from 3. So obviously some more firepower, floor spacing. They're going to be pretty young. They also lack size, but you can get away with that in this type of conference. So, defense could take a hit here, but they've got a strong core, strong culture here, and they'll be chasing some hardware again this season. And then you got the old Marist Red Foxes, one of my favorite mascots. Look at that mascot. It's just beautiful, man. But they won 13 games last year, and Coach John Dunn, he's basically gotten this program on the cusp of making history. And once again, he's got a roster capable of contending for the regular season title and an NCAA tournament berth. You did lose Josh Pasquarelli. His offense is going to be sorely missed, but they got a lot of good players coming back. Pasquarelli averaged 16-point shot, nearly 40% from three, but you get 3 key starters coming back, including your point guard, Jaden Collins-Roberts. He averaged 8 points, 4 assists for them. You got a wing, Elijah Lewis, who averaged 12 points per game. You also have a forward, Jaden Daughtry, a stretch forward here, averaged 13 points, shot 40% from three. So I think their defense is going to be able to travel. I don't really have as many concerns, which is obviously why they're in the high tier. They've got offensive firepower. I think they're going to be able to get it done defensively. And, if they can knock down those shots like they did last year, this could definitely be the year that they break all the way through here.
Any one of these teams, it feels like even though there's some of the same names at the top of this conference, it does feel like you could tell me that any of these teams are going to win the regular season title or find a way to win the conference tournament. And, if that was Sacred Heart or Manhattan or Quinnipiac or Marist or the team that I'm going to talk about now, Siena, 9-11 in the conference last year. But, when you were talking about retention, speaking of retention, look no further than this Siena squad, Mike, led by former NCAA champion Jerry McNamara. Yes.
Oh, man.
Oh,
they
don't look that vicious. They don't look that vicious. I don't know, man. That's
I
don't want to step into that big dog's yard. But when it comes to keeping talent together at the mid-major level, 4 starters back for Siena. Justice Schultz averaged 16 points, 4.5 dimes. Gavin Doty, 11.3 points. Brendan Coyle, 12.8 points, 39% from deep. And then center Peter Carey, 5.5 points. Put it all into the bowl, immersion blender, mix it all in. And then you throw in there Iowa transfer Riley Mulvey, who Torvik projects as one of the most efficient bigs in the conference, by the way. They have size, they have experience, and they have continuity. It feels like the sort of put up or shut up year at this level that can make or break a program, for the foreseeable future. And I know we feel like Siena definitely will capitalize on this and will at least be in contention for this league all the way down to the end. But quite a few teams are going to try to lay their claim to that as well. Johnny K saying that Siena used to be good, actually. It's
I like good, actually.
maybe a chance to turn the table here.
Cam, this guy.
Oh, here we go. Trust me when I say Riley Mulvey will not.
Man, it sounds like an Iowa hater.
MAAC. Yeah, Cam got his MJ reference in earlier with the ceiling is the roof. He's got his Iowa reference, and he's all over checking off all the CT hugging boxes. And then we love to see it as well, always. All right, hey, one more team here that we know that if you follow this conference at all, you cannot bring up the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference without speaking about the Iona Gales. 12-8 in the conference last year. What do you think, man? If you were flipping a team from the mid-tier, is Iona does feel like, even though we do have them in that mid-tier, they feel like a bubble team here. But again, like the top of that mid-tier and the back end of this high tier, it's this kind of blends and meshes a little bit together.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Gales, man?
Well, my thoughts, and I'm with Riley because obviously Riley knows ball here. Just missed the comment. Tobin Anderson should still be coaching Iona. Yeah, I don't know why he's not coaching Iona, but that's we could do a whole show about that. Obviously, they're opting to go in a different direction with head coach Dan Giroux. It's intriguing. It's a new system. It's a retooled roster, but we do have more questions than answers. But what we know is they got some talented dudes on this team. You got Colorado State transfer Keyshawn Williams, who really made a name for himself at Northern Illinois a few years ago. He's going to get plenty of opportunities. He can score the basketball. Denver Anglin feels like everywhere he's gone. Rice, Georgetown. Man, coming down to the MAAC, man, like you feel like these numbers are about to really spike. 8.5 points, 38% from three. This could be a really, really good backcourt, and probably the upside of this backcourt is pretty tremendous. So I think if it all clicks early, they're going to certainly be a problem. But growing pains are a real possibility, man. So we'll see. It's kind of an interesting news, and one that the college basketball was just kind of figure out, like, why are you firing Tobin Anderson? But they're making a move, man. So I definitely think they're probably the one with the highest question marks outside of Quinnipiac. Like, we know what they have. Marist, we know what they have. Siena, we know what they have. So it's kind of one of those things. Marist losing Pasquarelli could be a problem for them, but I think those three teams are safely up here in our high tier. If there's somebody that's really going to jump up here, talked about Sacred Heart. We can't just discount what Mount St. Mary's just did. And we just talked about it. A lot of parity in this league every year. So somebody's going to win the conference, and we don't know who's going to show up in the NCAA tournament. So this is one of those conferences.
Johnny K's St. John's hosting Quinnipiac in game number 1 of the season. Looking forward to that for sure. Are you, Johnny? I don't know. Are you looking forward to it or not? Maybe you are. Who knows? All right. Nate popping in behind the scenes saying, out of all these mascots, who wins in a fight? Well, apparently not the dog, according to the chat. Looks a little tame, I guess. What do you think? I mean, the peacock will just, peacock on you. I don't know. What's with the,
I got to go with the red fox, right? Like, that's, I don't know, kind of sly, right?
Definitely not the Jaspers, I don't think. Won't beat the
come on, what are we talking
animals.
about? It's definitely the mythical creature, the griffin, man. Like,
the golden. What are we doing here? I mean, are we just going to the golden griffin, the purple eagles? Like,
that could be terrifying. That could have like some kind of like power. Yeah, exactly. Like it's either a mutation or, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's not if any of these like that are humans. I'm sorry,
warriors. You got warriors.
The entire mid tier is out. The warriors, the mountaineers, the pioneers, the Jaspers. You're all done. You're all gone. You're not gonna win this one. So mascot wise, let us know in the live chat who you think would win there. All right, good stuff. The live chat was on fire tonight, and we definitely appreciate everybody for doing their part in the one and done universe there. And we know that they push those buttons, that like and subscribe button, to get in the live chat. So we appreciate that. If you haven't done that, show your broskies in basketball some love. Like, subscribe, notification bells as well, because we're not just doing conference previews. We're covering every single conference all the way leading up to opening tip. But once tip happens, we're doing DFS shows as well. So if you love yourself some DraftKings, make sure you follow us, because we got that MC Holland 34 Invitational. We know the greatest champion of all time in the MC Holland 34 Invitational. Cam is in the live chat tonight. Shout out to Cam. Wear your crown, King. We appreciate seeing everybody in the live chat. Darren, Johnny K, Cam. Who else was in there tonight? Riley, of course. Everybody hanging out in there. Man, it's always so good to see everybody. Nate popping in there at the end as well. Go Mean Green, Darren. There you go. Got it in. Obligatory GMG in the live chat before we got out of here. What do we got on tap, Mike? We got the MAAC, got the MAAC coming up. Okay, so MAAC on Tuesday if we're watching live. This is Sunday, August 10th. If you're watching live with us, appreciate you for doing that. If you're watching, maybe you're watching Monday morning with your Cheerios or your Frosted Pebbles or whatever it is that you eat. No, I will not answer the Rodney Terry question, Darren. Thank you very much. MAAC on Tuesday, MAAC on Thursday. Hit all those buttons. Follow at Fantasy Nav. Follow at The Real Napier. Follow my guy, MC Holland 34. He's El Capitan around these parts, the captain of the one and done ship. Wakanda forever. One and done forever, baby. That's what I'll do. One and done forever right there. Shout out to you, the best damn college basketball analyst on the planet, and I get to host a show with him. How about that? What's my luck? Who got it better than me? Nobody. Good to see everybody tonight. Make sure you push all those buttons. One and done for life. My name is JAYHEIN. RICH. Come again. We'll see you.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.